Godley with you this Saturday. Happy New Year, one and all. Happens to be the first Saturday of 2024. And we are at Rhett's Tails and Shells. We got them jumping into the boat. It's a podcast with Gregg Terzia presented by Media Bass, the North Louisiana division, in advance of the 2024 the season that's coming up. And we are on Lake D'Arbonne. Again, kudos and props to Rhett's Tails and Shells for not only being a sponsor but also hosting us here this afternoon as we got a lineup change. We saw some jockeying. Somebody traded down for Kenny Covington, so he's going to go last in the draft. And Charlie Witherington and Kevin Jennings up on stage. And Greg, your mics are live. Why don't you tell us what we got going on?
Okay, well, good deal. So Kevin, Charlie, thank y'all for showing up today.
Thank you.
Charlie, you've been out there on the lake fishing, huh?
I have.
How's the bite this morning?
It is not good.
It's not good?
No.
Well, you're putting in the work already for the new 2024 season. I'm going to start off with you right now, man. Just telling you, going back a little bit on your past. 2020, you and Dylan came in 15th in the point standings. 2021, we get a little bit better. You finished 10th. 2022, you fell off and finished 21st. And then all of a sudden, 2023, you're second.
Yep.
You guys were 1 point away in that last event from winning the points championship. That's a big deal. I mean, we had 80-something different teams overall fish this division this past season. Tell me a little bit, before I get into that, let's talk about 2023 a little bit more. You finished 6th on Claiborne, you guys did, with 16.38. You finished 5th on D'Arbonne with 15.77. And you finished 3rd on Claiborne with 16.27 and 9th on D'Arbonne with 14.54. You guys were in the top 10 4 of the 6 events. That's hard to do with this type of competition. So what I'm kind of seeing right now is a future points champion for Media Bass teams maybe this year or next year. You guys are headed in that direction, and I want to know, what are we doing different, man? How are we getting better year to year?
I think main thing is taking it one tournament at a time.
Right.
Not getting too caught up on trying to bounce around at all the different places we go. Just try to focus on one at a time.
Right.
Like, for instance, now I'm not fishing Claiborne or Caney or anything right now. I'm fishing D'Arbonne.
Yeah.
I started fishing 2 weeks ago, and I'll stay here until the tournament.
Fishing every weekend. I mean,
Yeah, every chance I get,
you guys
I'll be
are
here.
putting in the work.
Yeah.
And it's starting to show. People are noticing you guys on the point standings, and man, I can't wait to see how y'all do this year, man. So are you into the live scoping stuff? That's the big topic. How are we guys catching these fish?
I mean, we do it. We both have it. I don't think it's necessarily something we rely on real heavy. We're more of bank fishermen.
You're bank fishermen?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we do the offshore deal, too. We get out there on the channel bends and brush tops and all that, too. But our main thing is going down the bank.
Right.
And like I said, you got to know when to look at it, when not to look at it.
Right.
Because it will hurt you.
Yeah. That's
It
awesome.
can cause you to do something you're not needing to do.
Exactly.
Okay, well, Kevin, on to you, man. You are our points champion for media individuals this past season, 2023. Nobody was surprised by that. You're a heck of a fisherman.
Surprised me.
Well, I was not surprised. We have a little bit of a story on that. In the last event, your fishing partner, Jason Williams, was leading the points all the way through 5 tournaments. He had a very big cushion on all of us. But if you no way, you're out. I mean, you can't no way an event.
Yeah.
So this last event was on the Ouachita River. It was when it was really tough. Kenny won that tournament. When Jason was leaving out that morning, I gave him a little grief. I kind of was like, hey, Jason, did you realize how many zeros there were in the team tournament yesterday? And he kind of, I don't know if he liked that or not. I was just messing with him. So then he comes in.
All he needed was one 12-inch fish.
To win the points
As
last year.
good as he is.
So we're all sitting up here. You, I believe, already weighed.
Yep.
And Jason shows up, and we're just still kind of joking around about it because I've never seen Jason not weigh in a fish. He walked up the ramp, or after he put the boat on the trailer, and he starts wiping the boat down, which is the last thing that you do. He wasn't talking, and the next thing you know,
He was a
you
little
win the
upset.
points. And So it was kind of dramatic there at the end.
Yeah.
But, how did you feel about that? Was that, Jason's one of your best friends, so.
Well, when you leave out and you're trailing somebody that's that good, and he's one of your closest friends, you're pulling for him.
Yeah.
I didn't think I had a chance. I just knew he was going to catch a fish. And to get that at the end, not knowing, we talked during the day, and I knew he didn't have a fish at some point, but I knew he was getting bites, and I knew he had fish on. And for him to get to the scales and not to have a fish, I was completely shocked.
Yeah.
And I knew then that I was the highest finisher out of the others, so I knew that I was probably, getting it. I knew it had to. We went, a little while before we actually said, who won it, but
Yeah.
it was a
there
shock.
Was a delay on that
it was a
because
big shock.
Yeah, we still weren't quite sure, even though
To know that someone that good, all he needed was one. And I know he had one come off on a crankbait right before he had to come weigh in.
Yeah.
You're pulling for your friend, but you still want to win too.
Right.
So
Well, I know you're kind of big into the live scope stuff too. Are you more of a deep water fisherman or shallow water? Where are we at on that? Basically in April you had 26 pounds on claver.
I caught those
You won that tournament.
12 foot of water brush piles
Really? In April.
in April.
That's crazy.
Fish right before it was staging, near points.
Postpone?
No, these were pre-spawn.
Okay.
I really believe they were pre-spawn.
Yeah.
they were about to blow up. They were just
Spawn was
butterball fat.
Yeah.
We can go back and look at pictures. I've caught some good ones lately, and you can tell they're putting on weight, but they're not as healthy as what their potential is.
Right.
I caught the 212s last week. They could very well be over 13 by the time they spawn. They just had their bellies are real flabby.
Right.
They're not just ready yet.
I have one question about a bait you told me you were catching them on last year, which might throw you off a little bit, but you were telling me that you were catching some on a hair jig.
Yes.
All right.
I fish a hair jig a lot.
That's a bait that I've never thrown. I don't know if that's really. I don't even know if you wanted me to ask you that question.
Oh, it doesn't bother me.
So
I'm not the only one that throws one.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many
You
people throw
throw
one.
them too?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, maybe I'm just getting behind on all these new baits coming out. So tell me a little bit about that. Is that something that you throw a lot? And how do you throw it? Is this a deep water, or are you flipping it around the dock? Or what are you doing with it?
I would say 12 to, I say maybe 10 to 15 foot of water. When the fish first pull out from spawning, they'll be chasing the bait.
Okay.
And it's something that you can get an erratic motion out of and let it fall back to the bottom. And 90% of the time, when you pick up on it, he's got it.
So
You'll feel the bite sometimes if you let your rod tip down with it. But if you just let it free fall like it needs to get the action,
up and then let it free fall.
snatch it up. Make it come up 4 or 5 feet in the water column. When it falls back down, it's got a glide to it, kind of like a glide bait. It doesn't just go straight down.
Okay. Do you put a trailer on it, or is this just something you just throw
It's
out the package?
just old school bucktail with a feather in it,
That's awesome, man.
and they inhale it.
Well, that's pretty much wraps up what I wanted to ask you guys today. Can't wait to the new season.
I'm
good
ready.
luck to you. Good luck to you.
All right.
Thank you.
I
Thank
expect you guys to be at the top again. So,
Good
anything,
aim for
Rick? Anything, Rick?
No, we're good. We're good. There you go. Job well done, gentlemen. All the best to you.
Thank you.
Coming up. And so there you have it. Charlie Witherington, Kevin Jennings here at Lake D'Arbonne. We are at Rhett's, and this is We Got 'Em Jumping Into the Boat. These are the podcasts with Gregg Terzia, presented by MediaBass.com, North Louisiana Division. Get online, get registered for the upcoming season for MediaBass.com for the fishing, the fellowship, as well as the fun, and, yes, the cash. One more guest here from Rhett's Tails and Shells. Want to again thank Rhett's for making this possible today. They're open 7 days a week, 4 till 9. Follow them on Facebook to find out more.